Good morning. I wanted to just take a couple of minutes today to reflect on some of your comments uh, over this first week. I'm sure that most of you, when you started looking at the module on perceptions, you start off with one concept and you, I think, change by the time you finished. It's rather interesting when you start looking at disabilities. Oftentimes, people assume certain things, and as some of you indicated in your posts, you were thinking about students who were mentally challenged, students that perhaps have ADHD or ADD, those types of things. And then suddenly you started looking at other things. Some of you automatically said when there's someone with a disability, you think of someone in a wheelchair. Sometimes you think of different types of people. But there are so many different types of disabilities that are out there. And so often, how we view individuals with disabilities can change. Now, for me personally, uh, it has been an interesting week because you see, for the first time, I suddenly have something which was called a disability. And that is, in case you're wondering why one of my eyes perhaps seems to be a little bit closed, it's because I had emergency eye surgery last week, torn retina. And as a result of that, at least for the next probably 3 or 4 weeks, I have no sight in my left eye. Now, the doctors hopefully say that it will come back with time after the surgery. But suddenly I've been put in a position where things are a little bit different. No longer able to drive, at least for the next month. Not able to go out and exercise. Not even to take a walk in the neighborhood because they're afraid of my falling because of the lack of depth perception. It's amazing how your perception changes. Some of you indicated in your post that your view changed as you looked at the video. Others indicated that your view of individuals, especially students with disabilities, changed when you had a student come into your school. I would be the first one to say that as teachers, we often create walls. We create barriers because we're afraid of the unknown. We're not sure how it will fit in. One of you made a comment about the fact that so often our schools, and especially our high schools, are concerned about making sure that we have the highest test scores, the best athletes. We have the best and the brightest. Well, then suddenly, what about those who are a little bit different? What about those who perhaps have different gifts and talents? And that's the thing to remember. It's about the gifts and the talents that we have as individuals, the gifts and talents that each of our students have as individuals. Those students who come to us come with a variety of gifts and talents. Our role as educators is to find out how we can allow those gifts and talents to grow and flourish. As administrators, your job is to set up a structure in your school, a climate, where every student is encouraged to succeed at his or her own level. At Clemson University here just recently, and there was a piece on Sunday morning on CBS that talked about a young man in Spartanburg, South Carolina, who has autism. And they talked about the fact that he was accepted to Clemson University for a special program called the Life Program. For the first time, he was going to be living on campus, somewhat independently. There'd be those that would help him, but he was going to experience college life. Never in his parents' wildest dreams when he was younger did they ever think that their son would be attending a university. When we look at the perception of those with disabilities, we must look at it through a different lens. We must look at it from the lens of the individual. In some of the stories that you posted online, you indicated that there were families where one student was diagnosed with a disability, and suddenly a student, a second child in the family, who was also going to your school, was diagnosed with a similar disability. And the reaction of the individual students varies. Your role as an administrator is to find out how you can encourage your teachers to find new and creative ways to reach these students, to set up realistic goals. In the coming weeks, we'll talk about inclusion and what that really means. Now, for each one of you, as you go through this semester, hopefully you will look at different ways that your school can incorporate students who learn differently. In the programs at my own school over the years, that's the way I described it. I said, these are students who belong here at our school. They simply learn differently than some of the other students. And our job as teachers and administrators is to help those students reach their potential. That's our goal. That's what we do. We are created in the image of God, and as a result, all of us fit into that picture. Some of us might think we fit in better than others, but the reality, we all reflect our Maker. And as a result, our schools must also do that. The posts that you had this week were great. Keep up the good work. If you have any questions or thoughts as we go through the semester, again, as always, please don't hesitate to call me. For the next few weeks, I might be a little bit slower in getting back to you, but since I have a new challenge for a few weeks. But if you do, please feel free to email me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Or give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Again, appreciate all the hard work as we begin this new semester. If you have any other thoughts about things that you'd like to see in the course, please let me know. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you throughout the semester. Have a good day.